The B Plus Recap Snapshot.
Hey and welcome back everybody, it's B Plus, and now it is time for a segment I like to call the Recap Snapshot. Now if you guys have been following me for a little bit, you know that I do these recap countdowns, and it's where I pretty methodically go through a project and talk about all the things that I really enjoyed about the project, from the beats to bars, my favorite tracks and my favorite features on the project. But what I do with the Recap Snapshot is a really condensed version of that. So today we're going to be taking a look at a project called Vanguards, and it's by two artists. The first artist is named Trutha, he's from Chicago, and the second artist is named Mike Wise, and he's from Philly. Now they've combined their forces together to create this collective, and this album is called Vanguards, as I just said. But Vanguards is one of those things that I hear that term a whole lot, but I never actually stopped to take a look at the definition of what Vanguard means. So that's what I did when I decided to check out this album. And Vanguard simply means a group of people leading the way in new developments and an idea. So I want you to keep that in mind as you listen to these snippets. And another thing I want you to keep in mind is I really like how they just wear their faith on their sleeve throughout this project. If you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I like both the covert approach to Christian hip hop and also the overt form of Christian hip hop, and they wear their faith right out there on their sleeves. And I really enjoyed this project. So here's some snippets here now, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Look at the state of the culture now. It's hard to tell who would approach us now, cause we take the people who got the most streams and followers and make them the poster childs. We give them a mic, put them up on a platform, not even sure if they can hold it down. We so busy chasing the cash that we ain't checking to see if they gonna bounce. Man, the culture did turn to a slaughterhouse, and God won't butt in if we force them out. Or tease like we want them just for the clout. People living crooked and we don't call them out. 5 to 9 on Tuesdays, or days on Sundays, and Sundays coming through.
Demons wanted me to fall off, but I never take a break, never call off. I take a shot at the enemy with the sword off, cause you know we bringing the remedy when it's all off.
This life is more easier said than done. He told us whatever we said is done. So if you believe and you wanna see something different, start speaking the better one. Death and life is both in the tongue. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done. They on demon time, we on kingdom time. Make them switch the vibes when we killing up.
This life is for real. See many dudes fall to their own devices. They fall with the wrong advices and running straight to the crisis. I'm trying to call out the righteous or point out the vices while they rolling dices. I'm rolling like a titan, I'm fighting and writing. My smallest rhymes be pivotal, never subliminal. If we beefing Satan, deceiving to make us divisible. Hate your brother just cause he able. Now you fighting the labels, we building our own tables. If you sleep, you in the cradle.
When the day
Let's
rise
go.
and night falls, who comes through like the dark night? My God, in all truth, he sent the board,
Cause I don't know my way out.
Yeah, you really blind if you don't see greatness. This book got deep pages. Seeking you'll find more secrets than Freemasons. PlayStation now every month. Get free game and the King will show off you MIA, so keep waiting. Don't worry about making a way, just know that the maker's away. And he made a way before Google a ways was a thing. I remember days I was sitting up in the cage trying to stand courageously, knowing I've been afraid. See, we were some renegades till the gospel came in and said, that's how I know it got the juice, cause I seen a minute made. And quite simply, my God is right with me, so I turn the opportunities quite quickly. I jot every lesson.
So line for line, I be climbing the hills away from the valley. See brothers hemmed up in alleys like it's the finale. Call it a fallacy, that's the finality. The principalities bringing fatalities, breaking the law and not with the legality. Ain't no normality in this reality. Came from a place where you earn the respect. If you gon' come, then you coming correct. You taking shots, but you never connect. Subliminal messages, never direct. I'm just a messenger, preaching truth to the competitors. Sometimes we bring the good news, and then we spitting the metaphors from a better source.
Give it up, my soul.
Let's go. Yeah.
I never let it go. Yeah, yeah. I never let it go. Yeah.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to this recap snapshot. We are taking a look at Vanguards, a 5-song EP by Trutha and Mike Wise. This is one of those projects that you just don't want to listen to one time and think you're getting all that the album has to offer. This is very bar heavy. This is something that you want to listen to a few times, and it's really cool just because it's only 5 songs. It's a very easy listen, but like I said, it's bar heavy. You got to do some lifting on here. So really enjoyed this project. Mike Wise's second verse on No More Tears, really solid. I really enjoyed Demon Time, just because they were just kind of tossing bars back and forth. I think they were both getting about 4 bars, and they were just kind of having fun tossing it back and forth. And one thing about Trutha, he just has one of those classic hip hop voices. Almost anything he says, I just want to listen to it. His voice actually kind of reminds me of, I'm gonna use a throwback name here, but a guy by the name of Sean Slaughter. He kind of has the tone that he has, so that's like a throwback for me. So really enjoyed the bars element of this album. So moving on to the beats, there were 4 primary producers from the research that I did on this project: Blanca, Wayne Classic, Prodi, and also YJO. They all did a very good job. They were all simplistic beats, but they weren't boring. That's the thing, when you have very bar heavy songs, you don't want to have a whole lot of instrumentation and a whole lot of production, because you want to hear what they're saying, but you also want to sprinkle in a little bit of something. So like on No More Tears, they sampled in, this had a very nice sample on that song. On Demon Time, they had the piano, and then on The Exit, they had the horns. So, and that just kind of leads me to my 2 favorite songs on this project. The Exit, just because the horns, every time I hear horns on a hip hop track, it just sounds very triumphant. It feels like victory. So that was one of my favorites. And my second favorite was Dark Nights. It was just a very, very solid song. It kind of reminded me of a throwback Christian hip hop group. I won't say it yet, but they kind of reminded me of them. There's a very dope visual, dope music video for this. So go over to YouTube, type in Dark Nights, Trutha, or Mike Wise, and you should be able to find it there. So that's all that I liked about the project. And I have one last thing I want to say. And that one thing is this: I really just appreciate and enjoy how they are just running their lane. Just kind of going back to the idea of Vanguards, they're leading their way. And I really don't feel like this album is really talking particularly to Christian hip hop. It would be very easy to hear an album like this and think that they're calling out Christian hip hop, but I don't think that that's the case. I think that they are pointing the finger at Christian culture in general. We live in a time where we're getting pulled on by media, both sides, both left and right of media. You're getting pulled on by the politicians, both Democrat and Republican, to kind of bow to whatever the flavor of the day is. But I feel like what this album is doing is it's a compass kind of pointing us in the right direction, to not think of Christianity as this cultural thing that we're doing, but a real faith that we have in Jesus Christ. And now it's time for me to make somewhat of a big statement. Please don't take it too far, but this is my take. This album is the closest thing I've heard to cross movement in a long time. Now, don't get me twisted. Don't think that I'm saying that Christian hip hop needs to go back to the cross movement days. I'm not saying that at all. In any given day, you can hear me listening to anybody from Shyland to Aha Gazelle. I'm not saying that there's one way of doing Christian hip hop, but what I am saying is it's pretty refreshing to hear this style of rap, because I really haven't heard anybody do it this well in a long time. So shout out to Trutha, shout out to Mike Wise. If you want to go support them, you can go to any of the streaming platforms and you can find this album, Vanguards. You can also go to Trutha Rap's Bandcamp page and you can just buy the album there. A lot of times these artists use this as a form of ministry, and you can support them by streaming, but you can also go to places like Bandcamp and you can look up these artists and you can purchase their albums there. So hope you guys enjoyed this recap snapshot, and make sure you go run up the numbers for this project. Oh, and one more thing, if you enjoyed this video and think you may be interested in more content just like this regarding Christian hip hop, make sure you hit the red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for the notifications to let you know when I'm going to be dropping my next video. Also, you can see the sign here. I now have a weekend radio show on Sirius XM channel 154 through Holy Culture. So make sure that you go download Sirius XM app. You can go to holyculture.net and you can find out all the information how you can get a 90-day free trial of Sirius XM, so you can check it out. We have a dope lineup, so just don't go there for me, go there for the culture. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and until next time, peace in, confusion out, and be positive.